While investigating a terrorist threat that goes online, Korean authorities discover that a suspect has recently boarded a flight bound for the US. When a healthy passenger on the same plane suddenly dies, panic erupts both in flight and on the ground. With steadily decreasing fuel and international refusals to offer aid, the captain and the crew take unprecedented emergency measures to save the lives of all on board. Meanwhile, back on Korean soil, the Korean government tries to find a way to solve the terror attack and a place for the plane to land. Panic and uncertainty ensues both in the sky and on ground. Hello everyone and welcome back to another K-movie review by EonTalk. I'm your host Ian, and today's review will be taking a look at the new thriller disaster film with a stunning cast, Emergency Declaration. But before getting into the review, I'd just like to say that I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions of the movie from here on out. Therefore, there may be minor spoilers or parts about the movie that you may not want to hear before watching yourself. I'm going to keep spoilers to a minimum, but please be aware of this. Emergency Declaration is one of the 4 highly anticipated K-movies of summer 2022, the others being Alienoid, Hansan Rising Dragon, and Hunt. These, plus Emergency Declaration, are known as the Big 4 of K-movies in summer 2022. As briefly mentioned, the film had an absolutely stunning cast, starring Song Kang-Ho, Lee Byung-Hun, Do-Yeon, Nam-Gil, Si-Wan, So-Jin, and Hae-Jun. It's extremely rare to see this many A-list actors in a single movie, especially Song Kang-Ho and Lee Byung-Hun, 2 of arguably the top actors in Korean cinema. Emergency Declaration was directed by the well-known Korean director Han Jae-rim. Director Han is known for works such as The King, The Face Reader, The Show Must Go On, and Purpose of Love. We've seen various genres from this director, ranging from drama, comedy, crime, and historical drama, but one that we haven't seen is disaster. So, how good was it? Let me get into the review, but first, I'd like to give a quick shout out to ExpressVPN. If you're looking to access more Korean movies but don't know where to find them, I highly suggest using ExpressVPN and accessing more Korean content. By using ExpressVPN, you can bypass geo restrictions, meaning you can be from anywhere around the world and access the Korean servers, like the Korean Netflix. If you would like to access more Korean content, be sure to sign up for ExpressVPN using my link in the descriptions, or expressvpn.com/EonTalk. Get 49% off an annual plan, plus 3 extra months for free. Better yet, if you sign up and don't like the service, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, meaning you can cancel anytime within the first 30 days. Okay, let's now take a look at what I found to be the good parts about the film. First, I love that there was really good intro to the characters from the start. The film laid out the background stories of the characters and really got the audience to understand the situations of each character before really starting the movie. And once the movie really began, oh man was it a thrilling ride. Emergency Declaration had really good suspense. It kept me at the edge of my seat, gripping at the armrest. They executed the freaky scenes superbly, and the film gave me chills numerous times while watching. It was like a freaky scene after even more freaky scenes. It just kept getting better and better until it didn't, which I'll get to later, but oh my was it good in that thrilling build-up. It was damn near horror, and Si-Wan deserves immense credit in that department, as his acting was really chillingly good. He's so good at that freaky, spooky acting, and maybe it's because he has that innocent look to him, but it makes it even more freaky. Anywho, amazing suspense, and the amazing musical scores it had really set the mood and enhanced the suspense that much more. And it wasn't only with Si-Wan, but as you could probably expect from the cast lineup, all of the performances were executed stunningly. Lee Byung-Hun, Song Kang-Ho, and Do-Yeon are veteran actors, and so of course, nothing to complain about their acting. And Nam-Gil, So-Jin, Hae-Jun, and as mentioned, Si-Wan also put on some of their best performances. Minor spoiler from this point on, so please skip to the bad part if you don't want to hear. This movie was especially scary in this day and age, as the terror attack that took place in Emergency Declaration was a bioterror. In other words, virus attack. Because of the fear we have due to COVID and how close it hits home with the virus, it enhanced the suspense and relatability twice as much. Emergency Declaration was at the Cannes Film Festival last year, but wasn't released until now, and I can see why. COVID was a global terror last year, and to have a film about virus attack at the height of the pandemic, my guess is it wouldn't have gone well. Also, as you may know if you've seen the behind the scenes trailers and interviews, a lot of the stunts and sequences were actually implemented. For example, the turning and spinning of the plane. It was incredibly well produced and the cinematography was very good. Moreover, I can see this movie being compared to Train to Busan a lot. It definitely has overlapping qualities, but can it be the next Train to Busan? Some of the mutual elements found between the two movies are the signature quote-unquote villain, and how the horror is derived from the fact that the characters are trapped inside an enclosed place. There's no escape. Yes, there are similarities, but do I think it has what it takes to be on the level of Train to Busan? To answer that, we'll need to look at the negatives as well. Let's move along to what I found to be the bad parts about Emergency Declaration. Let me get the nitpicks out of the way first and progressively move on to the bigger negatives. The film has some grotesque parts, and so if you're sensitive to gore and blood, there may be parts that may gross you out a bit. Also, there were a couple parts with way too much flashes. It was so bad that it hurt the eye, especially when watching in a dark theater. Furthermore, although the overall cinematography was great, there were parts with very shaky camera work. This was especially the case during the car chase scenes. I normally wouldn't be too nitpicky and would overlook if it isn't too bad, but this was overly shaky. Another thing that I noticed was that the film used real footages from real terror attacks. For example, scenes from the Las Vegas shooting was used, and I could see this getting some backlash for being insensitive. And my last nitpick is the bad acting by the foreign actor. I almost always say this in movies with foreigners and or when there's English acting by Korean actors, but it's almost always bad. And I'll keep saying it. And the biggest, monumental negative about Emergency Declaration was its inability to finish strong. Compared to the build-up and how good it was up until the climax, the resolution was far too unfortunate. There was no real surprise, it was predictable and cliche, and had twists for the sake of having twists. There was no real surprise, and heavily forced emotions and tears. Very unnecessary scenes and forced parts that almost ruined the film. Thank goodness the build-up was good. The film also dragged a little too long. Let me put it like this, the movie has a runtime of 140 minutes or 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was really good and was a really solid thriller for the first hour and a half or so. I give it all its praise and appreciation for the first hour and a half. And then the remaining 50 minutes was all downhill. So unfortunate. The first 2/3 was like an almost perfectly executed thriller, and the remaining 50 was like a garbage social commentary film. If the film would have been able to do half of what it did in the build-up in the resolution, this would have been by far the #1 film of 2022, and even perhaps one of the best thrillers of recent Korean cinema. So unfortunate. I find myself saying that quite frequently in this one. Emergency Declaration was an awesome thriller full of suspense. It was even better and even scarier because it's our everyday life now and very plausible. You get an uneasy feeling after watching and are creeped out in a good way. The film had so much potential but couldn't finish strong. It was really good when good and pretty dang bad when bad. I'll give Emergency Declaration a ticket price value of $12. And that concludes today's review on Emergency Declaration. Thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and I hope this review has given you some insight into the film. If you've seen or are planning to watch the movie, I'd love to hear your thoughts about the film, so please leave a comment or join the EonTalk Telegram group and we can discuss over there. If you would like to access more Korean content, be sure to sign up for ExpressVPN using my link in the descriptions to get 49% off an annual plan. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and would like more video movie reviews. Once again, thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one.